so much again for joining me on this channel. As always, I'm very grateful for all your previous views, likes, subscriptions and shares. I am so excited about how we've broken the 300 barrier in terms of subs. So your support energizes and enthuses me. And you may notice as well that I'm sitting slightly higher today. That is because the beanbag that I sit on to record these videos is a little worse for wear, so I've placed it on a packing case to make sure that I can actually be level with the camera. So, Navaratri is a Hindu festival I knew absolutely nothing about. And I know that it was celebrated in September, October time, and that was about it. So it's been a real eye-opener for me just to explore it. And I do hope that some of the key ideas that I've teased out for today will hopefully inspire you to investigate further. And as always, what I normally do is that I go to Google, and I very much like the define feature, and we get that little timeline. And the word festival comes from the Latin for feast, effectively, or festa, and it's a time of indulgence, a time of the finer things, a time of socializing. And festivals in religion are about reconnecting with your faith in some way, reconnecting with maybe your family, and also connecting and making new relationships too. And that's very much part of Navaratri as well. But there's something quite interesting about Navaratri, something which gives it a status which really sets it apart. And it is one of the few religious festivals that gives centre stage to goddesses, that actually reflects female spirituality and thinks about the role of women in religion. And the cog in my brain cell got whirring, and I was trying to think about other religions that celebrate that female spirituality in such a high status way. Off the top of my head, I was thinking about how the Virgin Mary in the Roman Catholic tradition is cherished, and also how in Buddhism male and female monks have equal status. But whether you're reading in books or whether you're searching online, that's something you may want to explore about the role of women in festivals in various religions. And so let's have a look at our first goddess, and this is Durga. Durga means fort. She is the mother protector, the original tiger mother, and she was specially created to protect her followers and to fight the evil buffalo demon, who we'll find out more about a bit later on. She has 8 arms, and each arm holds a weapon. And yes, she's got a very cool trident and a big sword, but the one I wanted to focus on was the shell. Yes, the conch shell. Not because I don't think it's interesting. I think actually in some ways it's the most interesting. A conch shell, when blown, okay, at the start of puja means worship and services in Hinduism, is the sacred sound of God, sacred sound of creation, the Om sound. And it's so easy to access. It's very easy to get hold of a conch shell. You may struggle to get hold of a bow and arrow or a large sword. But doesn't that make it even more accessible that a goddess that you worship, you can actually have something that she uses as well? And I think that helps to make a deeper spiritual connection. So she is the mother protector, and she has a daughter called Lakshmi. And Lakshmi is a sign of wealth and prosperity. As she said, she's the daughter of Durga, and she's often worshipped and cherished in business. She brings about wealth and fortune. You see that she has a lotus flower. She's standing on a lotus flower. That symbolises an open mind and purity. And in the background, she is accompanied by 2 elephants. And those elephants represent Dharma, the teaching. And Lakshmi has been in the news recently. The Mexican actor, director, producer and award-winning Salma Hayek recently posted on social media, and I think this is the first time I mentioned someone else's social media on this video, so Salma is very welcome, as always. All of you are. She talked about how Lakshmi is such a significant figure in her life, that when she's meditating, it helps her to connect with her inner beauty. And I was really excited to see this, because Salma Hayek is a very high profile person in the world of entertainment. So, and I always think it's quite brave actually when people in very high status positions talk about their faith, because faith is a very personal thing, and it can often sometimes lead to ridicule or people being snipey about it. So in fact, she had the confidence to do that. But she talks about how through Hinduism, it helps us get in touch with her inner beauty. And isn't it interesting too, how Hinduism has stretched beyond the boundaries of India and crossed into other countries and cultures? And that's something as well that you may want to consider. And so here is someone who was born in a Mexico, which has a very strong Roman Catholic tradition, okay, and yet is embracing a whole new religion and certain parts of it. So that's really intriguing too, about how religions can spread and how Hinduism is going beyond its geographical location. The third goddess who is given special status during the festival of Navratri is Saraswati, and she is someone who symbolises the arts and the sciences. That is what she is recognised for. And she dressed very modestly, and the reason why she's dressed modestly is because she enjoys knowledge, she enjoys wisdom, she enjoys insight. The colour yellow is often associated with her as well. But what a really powerful statement to have a goddess who is cherished for the mind, for knowledge, and how empowering that must be. And the final day of Navaratri is Dasera, which marks the triumph of good over evil. And this is where Durga comes to the forefront and crushes evil. And it just really struck me how you have this trinity of goddesses. You have the big strong protector, you have kind of the fortune and prosperity, and you have knowledge. And between those three, you have an incredibly powerful force. And the fact that all three of them are given this significant status tells something about them, but also about the role of female spirituality in Hinduism. And this story of good and evil is a familiar one. We see it across all cultures. And in Hinduism, the story of, for example, the Ramayana is one of the great epic stories. And Navaratri ends with another great good versus evil narrative. So have a think about this whole concept of storytelling, whether it's being read a bedtime story, whether it's going to the movies, whether it's watching something on streaming or reading a book. Okay, these stories of good versus evil perhaps are even more important now, because in trying times they can give us hope. In trying times they can be inspiring, and in trying times they can help those believers who perhaps feel they are on the rocks. It can lift them up and really inspire them. So as always, thank you so much for watching. I'm so grateful. Enjoy your learning. Thank you very much.